Welcome back, peeps, to another episode of Shady Corner Lewdcast. It's me, Shades, and today I'm with Midnight Datura, who has been in Love and Sex, Reborn in Sin, Manor Stories, and in Guilty Force, and a lot of other things that you guys have probably seen before. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Nobody's ever asked me that before. I'm doing pretty good.
Why wouldn't you ask? If it feels like the polite thing to say.
Thank you so much. So I'll just kick it off because we're here to talk about voice acting. So the first question I got for you is, what got you into voice acting?
Actually, it was video games. I was playing a lot of Skyrim, and then you find a lot of mods for Skyrim. And I thought it sounded like fun, so I wanted to give that a try.
What made you pick your name, Midnight Datura?
When I started the not safe for work side of voice acting, I was looking for a persona. I wanted something. I basically looked at what was already there, and I looked at the color schemes. And the color schemes were a lot of pink, orange, from what I've seen of the other voice actresses, red, gold, that kind of thing. But there was not a lot of green. So I went with green first. And then I'm like, what's green? Well, a plant. And then I came up with this basically very poison ivy-esque persona of a plant lady who can basically poison with her voice, and also has an alluring voice. Mm-hmm. It turns out, I didn't know at the time, but it turns out that the Datura plant is actually an aphrodisiac before it kills you, which was perfect.
Every voice actor and actress seems to have their own little mascot, and I really like that. And your one, like you're describing it now, really does stand out amongst the crowd.
Thank you. It was a bit of and it's one way for people to remember you.
Oh, of course, definitely. And it's funny that, this is the first time that we've spoken over voice before, but I see you around all the time, and you are like I'm not just saying this, but you're one of the people that actually sticks out a lot, that I see you a lot in like either different conversations on Twitter or different posts and such. So it clearly does work, the thought that you've put into your mascot and the color scheme, that's for sure. I have to ask, where exactly are you from? Because that's quite an interesting accent you have.
What's your guess?
Okay, look, I'm going to be honest with you. It sounds French a little bit.
Yeah, spot on.
Am I? Oh my god, that's so cool.
First try. It usually takes people a few tries.
Okay.
But you got it right the first time. Well done.
Do you do safe for work voice acting, or just not safe for work?
I also do safe for work voice acting.
Mm-hmm. So what made you go into the not safe for work side? What made you take that leap over?
I was seeing a lot of voice actresses doing that, and I was like, it sounds like fun. Do I dare? What would I even do? It's not for me. I'm not like that. One day the casting call for Subverse came along, and I'm like, this looks like a big thing. Maybe I should, try to audition and see what comes out of it. And then when I auditioned for it, it was really fun. I didn't get a role, but I got other roles. So then I started working on this new persona, because I didn't want to mix my safe for work and not safe for work. But yeah, it basically that was what made me take the leap.
Do you find it hard to separate doing safe for work and not safe for work stuff? I know you keep your accounts separate, but do you find that you get a lot of safe work and then not safe work, and then you've got to separate the days, or is it hard to keep those two things apart?
How do I put this? I have a lot more success in my not safe for work handle, and my safe for work is almost non-existent and mainly like unpaid stuff. I have time for both. Also, I have a full-time job, so I do this in the evenings and the weekends. So it can get a little stressful sometimes, but most of the time it just works. I know when to I can regulate with the number of auditions I do also. Or now I'm not auditioning for non-paid work anymore unless like the project really calls out to me. But I have to choose my battles, so to say.
Which do you prefer? Do you prefer safe work stuff, or do you prefer not safe work stuff?
It's hard to say, because for me it's the same work. It's just like having different, like playing a different character. And yeah, as long as I can play interesting characters, characters that have depth, that have where the emotions are subtle or strong, something that's fun to act, then it's whether it's a battle or an orgasm, I don't really care, as long as it's fun.
What would you say is your funnest role that you've had so far?
I haven't thought about that. I haven't found a role I didn't like so far. I mean, there are some commissions I'm a bit less into because it's not really my thing, but like once you're in the booth, you just forget about it.
That's an okay answer too. Like, some people don't even have that as a definitive answer. It's very hard to sort of pick something that you really enjoyed over everything else when you enjoy it all equally.
Yeah, exactly. I can't find something that really sticks out. What
would you say is your warm-up routine when you're going to do some voice acting? You're going to go do some recording. What are the things you do to get warmed up, ready to go?
I drink a lot of water before, during, and after. That's why it's like now I have my little bottle. And when I can feel that the voice gets a bit weak, I have a little gulp. I am a very bad person because I don't warm up. Or like, it's basically doing whatever I'm gonna do. If I'm working on a role or an audition, I will do the lines first, like without recording. So that's kind of my warm up. But I'm terrible. And when I was a singer, it was the same. I would just like hop on stage without warming up. And I know it's bad because the first song was usually terrible because it was my warm up. But I'm bad.
What are your inspirations? Who inspires you to work in the not safe work voice acting industry?
The one that really helped me when I started was Miss Moonified. And she's still an inspiration to me. You see her everywhere, and she's like this cute little thing. And and she's really, really talented. Right now I have really grown fond of Pixie Willow and Silky Milk. They're both like crazy talented, I wish I can be at their level one day. I'm gonna keep working, and hopefully I can reach their level of skill someday, because it's really, really good.
What do you do when you're not voice acting? What is something that you do when you switch that microphone off and you've basically spent an entire afternoon recording? What do you do to go back to reality and be a real person?
Most of the time, it's the only thing I do. I used to play a lot of video games, but now it feels like I don't have that much time. But I have a VR headset, and I enjoy like playing Beat Saber, for example. That's really fun, and that really like drives the energy out and makes me move a little, which is good.
What is a role that you would absolutely kill someone for? What's that one role that you absolutely want?
Not a specific role, but if I could be the main villain of a AAA game, I would. Yeah, I would probably. No, wow. I wouldn't kill. Oh, come on. Yeah, I would.
No, that's cool. I like that. I like that answer. That's cool. What advice would you give to somebody who would want to get into voice acting, and who would also want to get into not safe for work voice acting?
I gave this advice when I was interviewed by Gamertron. It's more about like, not, I don't know if it's a real advice, but you will get rejected. You will get doors slammed in your face all the time, and it hurts. And it hurts a bit less with time. And I just want to say, be patient, believe in yourself, keep trying, and like never give up, because these doors, they hurt. And you see all these really talented people getting cast, and you're just there sitting on the bench and watching. But your turn will come, and someone will need your voice, because that's how it is. We all have different voices. No two people have the same voice, and someday one director is gonna be wanting exactly your voice, and this will be your break.
I love it. That is perfect advice. So right now we're at the particular part of the interview where so with video game developers, normally I give them an approach of they have to come up with a video game. For voice actors and actresses, what I do is I give them a randomly generated sentence and I get them to read it out in different voices to test their voice acting chops. So this sentence that I'm going to send it to you in the chat. This sentence has been randomly generated off a website, so don't be mad at me that it looks weird.
That sounds horrible.
So the sentence is: rock music approaches at high velocity, and the first way that I would like you to read it is like an announcer.
Rock music approaches at high velocity.
Yes. Oh my god, that was perfect. Okay, that was so cool. Sultry.
Rock music approaches at high velocity.
Shy.
Rock music approaches at high velocity.
All right, let's see how far we can go with this one. Australian.
Oh boy. Rock music approaches at high velocity. I'm French. I don't know.
No, that was perfect. Oh, that's so good. All right. This one's written for you. This evil.
Rock music approaches at high velocity.
That is perfect. Okay. This one is known as a himdary, which is like a stuck-up princess.
Rock music approaches at high velocity.
I love it. Okay. Second last one, a goofy voice.
Rock music approaches at high velocity. I don't know what I'm doing.
That is perfect. I love it. And the final one, which is the je ne sais quoi of the list, I would say, a monster.
Rock music approaches at high velocity.
Oh my god. Every time, because I've been changing the list as I go, but I've left monster in every time, and every time whoever I'm interviewing always knocks it out the park with something bizarre. It's amazing. Thank you so much for playing that little game. I know it just sort of, breaks the ice a little bit.
Yeah, it's really awesome. I love it. Thanks.
So we're actually at the end of the interview already. It is crazy. It's almost been 20 minutes. And yet it feels only like it's been a few seconds. I know.
Nice.
I know. It's been crazy. Because like, what I try to do with these interviews, I try to sort of get an idea of more about you and more about the person that, like, basically everything that you do that makes you a voice actor. So what I want you to do now in this particular block of the interview, I want you to plug all your social media, where people can find you, where people can go to hire you, to listen to your showreel, and to see your work.
Right. So the main place you can find me is Twitter. That's where I spend most of my time. So my Twitter profile is Midnight Datura. So all in one word. And there in the pinned tweet, you will have all the information. I have a link tree up with all my links. You just have to click. So yeah, Twitter and everything is there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's great. For everyone that's listening at home, I'll put the links in the description, and I will also pin them in the comments, so you can go over and you can support Midnight Datura. thank you so much for taking this time to sit down and have a chat with me about voice acting.
Thank you so much. It was really a fun interview. I loved the little game.
Thank you very much. And to
And
everybody,
I hope I didn't offend any Australians.
no, you did. you didn't. Yeah, yeah. But see, the voice that I'm doing, I wouldn't even consider this Australian really. But because I'm a bit from, like, a lot of my family's from the UK, but I'm Australian. But this isn't what I would say be Australian. I'd say, like, you know, kind of like, oh yeah, how you going, mate? Like that sort of, that's more
Let's
Australian.
have shrimp on the barbie.
yeah, pretty much, yep. So thank you everyone for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Shady Corner Lewdcast, and hope to see you guys in the next one. Good night.